So welcome to Why They Buy webinar. In the next 90 minutes, I'm going to walk you through why they buy. And there's a saying that we always in a silent situation, wanting to know what's the motivation behind your prospects, why they buy. So we are going to investigate and most importantly, understand the concept. So my name is Jack Wong, and I'm going to be a facilitator for this webinar. So before I start, we would like to invite all of you to listen to this video, to watch this video.
Hi, Sherry Tree, founder and CEO of Bankcode, and I want to do an amazing endorsement for our certified and licensed trainer, Mr. Jack Wong. I've known him for several years. He's a fantastic trainer. We're honored to be able to work with him, and he's teaching a revolutionary methodology called B.A.N.K, designed to increase your sales up to 300%. Make sure you get back with him because he can teach you how to unlock the secrets, the science, and the system to supercharge your sales in less than 90 seconds, and you can take that to the bank.
So thank you, Sherry, the founder and CEO of Bankcode, for this nice testimonial endorsement. I met Sherry in 2012 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I knew that at that time, this presentation, Why They Buy, actually has struck me, actually has inspired me to decide to continue the education with Sherry, which is why I'm able to do this webinar with you guys. Okay?
Hi, Sherry.
So I'm going to share with you why they buy. So many times, how many of you have been to other workshop seminars training, whereby if the trainer is teaching you how to sell, you are learning a lot of sales techniques. And some of them, I would say that they are useful. But I found one thing that is missing. That is, no one actually talk about the motivation why the process buy. Is it true that in the silent situation, between you and your prospect, you've got to understand and be able to speak the lingo of your prospect so that you can move the prospect to make a decision faster, easier, and with clarity. I am not aware of any tools in the world at this point in time when the webinar is presented to you that can solve this problem except Bankcode. So who am I? So I'm your presenter in this webinar. So I have been doing sales for many years. In fact, I've been doing 17 years of B2B and 7 years of B2C sales in my life. And I achieved in my third year of my entrepreneurship journey, 6 figures. And last year in 2018, I was able to receive this award called the US $100,000 Sales Award, personally from my mentor in Vancouver, British Columbia. My goal, my business, is to change lives of 1 million entrepreneurs and then more. And by the way, in case you wonder who I actually am a degree holder. Now, how many of you actually are university degree holder? And how many of you have more than 1 degree? So I have 4. I have 2 bachelor's and 2 master degrees. And yet, at this time, I'm a lifelong learner. Because learning should be a continuous process. The moment that you stop learning, as my mentor said, if you don't grow, if you don't learn, I'm not going to use the word, but it's kind of like weird, it's called you die. So I would love to continue my education because there's so much I can learn from other people. I'm actually an adjunct faculty in Singapore University of Social Sciences, specializing in teaching international texts. So that's actually who I am. How about Sherry, the founder and CEO of Bankcode? She has 20 years of track record in sales. She started off with network marketing. Bankcode right now has been featured and spread around to more than 100 countries. And as of today, in this webinar, we have more than 150 certified and licensed trainers with Bankcode. And I'm the one representing in Asia. And Bankcode, by the way, is the #1 personality-based sales training tool and methodology, which I'm happy to explain to you later on. Sherry actually said that Bankcode is the only tool, is only methodology in the world that's scientifically validated to predict buying behavior in less than 90 seconds. So the question is, why is that so powerful? Why is this scientifically validated? In a moment, I'm going to explain how it works. Sherry has actually spoken in a couple of very reputable places. She has spoken in Harvard University, University of California, Berkeley. And Brenda Cross is actually one of our certified and licensed trainers with Bankcode, and she's based in the United States. She said, with just one client, she increased her revenue by 685%. That is $24,000 in sales. It's so amazing, just one client. Brigitte, she's actually, again, one of our certified and licensed trainers based in the United States. In 18 months, she has increased her revenue by 330%, which is actually a 7-figure. Listen to this. This is Shi. In case you ask, do I have any people that study from me or with me in Asia? Shi actually came to my training in January 2019, and he said, I love this whole proven system that is designed with the step-by-step, easy-to-follow process where he is able to see guaranteed results if he truly believes in it and apply in his life. So she actually came to me and asked, like, how would he be able to improve his closing? And I said, this is the tool. Come and train with me 2 days, and you'll see the amazing results. Sherry has been featured in many seminars worldwide, and she has the opportunity to meet with some celebrities. Some of you might be able to recognize in these pictures. Tony Robbins, you have got Robert Kiyosaki, Les Brown, Steve Wozniak, Susie Osman, and of course, Virgin's boss, Richard Branson. So I would like to particularly mention one thing about Les Brown. Later, we'll explain it later. Les Brown actually has seen this Bankcode, and he was very, very surprised that this tool is so easy to use. And he said it is a game changer. Everybody should know and learn how banks work. So what we are saying is that Bank has already got so many raving fans all around the world. And as of this time, we have got fans and customers, users in more than 100 countries. So this book is written by Sherry and was published 2 years ago. And this book, Why They Buy, is the introduction of our methodology to enable people like you who may not be aware or familiar with the Bankcode methodology to understand what's the rationale behind Sherry writing this book and why she decided to focus on the buying behavior of the prospects. She has been featured in several magazines. So this one is a home magazine, and you can see the person who is centered in this picture. That's Sherry, and Sherry Tree, $2.9 million net worth at that time. Sheila Markovitz, our certified licensed trainer, said, in just one event, her closing ratio went up from 20% to 96%, and that means $4,000 in one single day. How many of you would like to have this kind of result, $4,000 in your pocket by doing just one event? Comment on the chat box. Jane Wong, another certified and licensed trainer. You see a lot of these people who are now our certified and licensed trainer because they believe in Bank. They were introduced by other existing trainers. And they come in, they implement, and this is Jane's result. In just 90 days, the closing rate of Jane has gone up from 25% to 92%. And that represented $22,000 increase in revenue. Is that amazing? Many people actually ask Jack here, does that work? Does this methodology actually work? And I always said that, well, you know what? If you do not implement what I'm going to share with you, nothing works. You can go to other programs. You can learn from other teachers. The key thing about this tool is you must learn and implement. When you implement, you see results. And how many of you can relate to this? Comment on the chat box and say yes. So now I would like to invite you to imagine this nice picture. And I want you to think about to live an iconic life. So what is iconic life, you may ask? So to me, iconic life, simply put, is now you have got your total freedom. Where money is not a concern, time is not a concern. You can spend the time the way you want it to be, as is total freedom. And yet, because of your work, because of what you have done to the world, you continue to inspire, impact, and influence people around the world. How many of you will love this kind of lifestyles where you enjoy your life and yet can continue inspiring other people? Welcome to our iconic life. So I would like to actually start with this story of Sherry, where you can see how B.A.N.K impacted her life. So 20 years of experience, Sherry started from network marketing. And in the first year when she was involved in network marketing, she makes $700 sales. Is that a good number? Okay, so in case it's not good, this is what Sherry thought too. She took up books. She asked herself the question, what must I do in order to improve my sales performance? So she was introduced Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. And she said, okay, let me go and figure out what Rich Dad Poor Dad means and apply the concepts from that book. And you know what? How many of you believe that her result has improved? Comment on chat box. The answer is yes, $72,000. Love it. 5 years time, $72,000. Is that good? Well, the thing is this. How many of you feel that she could do it much better? So in later, I'm going to share with you part 2 of her story. Meanwhile, listen to this. Sherry said, when you are not successful yet, you can always fake it until you make it. What does she mean? Well, you can always visualize the car that you love to own, the house that you love to buy, the people you love to hang out with. Put that somewhere so that you can visualize and set a very clear goal and to achieve what you want in life. And unfortunately, this is not what many people would choose to do. So this is Department of Health and Human Services statistics. By the age of 65, 54% of the people who remain dependent. You have got 36% of the people who will still be working. And you have got 5% of people who will return to heaven with the inconvenience of dying. So it means that there will be 4% of people, a minor group of people who will be financially independent. Is that true? It's like this world is pretty interesting. There will always be a group of people who are not successful, who are suffering, who relies on the help from other people. The true wealth is generated and accumulated by only a small group of people. So 4%. So now work out the math. Is there something missing? The answer is yes. There's still 1%. We call it the true wealth. These are the true wealthy people. They have too much money. It's not because they are rich. They have just too much money and they can do anything they want. So comment on the chat box. Who wants to live the life of the wealthy and financially independent group? If you say yes, please carry on because this webinar may potentially give you some ideas how your life can be different. Now let's talk about Robert Kiyosaki one more time. So Kiyosaki actually said, the ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. What's the problem? The problem is that in school, no one has taught us how to sell. The school teachers are employees. They have a job. Nobody has taught us how to run a business. And most importantly, how to make money at all. So here's a very big fundamental issue. If you do not know how to sell, how are you going to put money in your pocket? Comment or chat box that you agree sales is #1 skill in business. So Salesforce.com has some interesting statistics. It says 67% of the sales professionals actually miss quota. Oh my God. And 87% of the sales professionals are not adequately prepared before they make their sales presentation. And 66% of the customers were turned off by these sales professionals' presentation. How many of you agree that these statistics are horrible? It's a lot of people don't like to be sold. And a lot of people are afraid of selling. That's a problem that Bankcode seeks to address. Have you been told that sales is a numbers game? In order to get more yeses, you have to get more? That's right. If you say no, it's good, because in the past, you might have been conditioned that this is the answer. What if tonight, today, this afternoon, wherever you're watching this webinar, I suggest to you that in order to get more yeses, the proven way is to get more yeses. I thought that should be the case, because in order to have more yeses, you should get more yeses. Why do you say that in order to have more yeses, you have to get more no's? It means that presumably you have this thing called rejection. No wonder so many sales professionals are not able to make it, because they are afraid of being rejected. They don't want to make the sale. They don't want to talk to the customers, because the moment they open their mouth and push the idea to the prospects, in their mind, they are afraid of being rejected. How many of you can relate to this? Comment on the chat box. So here is Stephanie.
Hi, I am Stephanie Bonte-Lebert, and I am a singer, voice coach, and trainer in Maryland, right outside Washington, D.C. Before learning Bank 3 years ago, I had a successful business, but I really wanted to take it to the next level. So after studying and implementing Bankcode's step-by-step system, I was able to go 30 days without a no. And I was able to generate an extra $10,000 in the last 2 weeks of the year, when most businesses are slowing down for the holiday. Even better, just 2 months later, I generated $50,000 in sales and won a $5,000 shopping spree on Rodeo Drive. Even more important than all of that, Bankcode has really helped me learn and understand how to communicate with everyone in my life, especially my husband Bill and my son Braden. We all just get along better now. The extra money that I'm able to generate in my business helps us live the lifestyle we really want to live, and I'm able to pursue more of what I love. Thank you, Sherry Tree, for bringing this powerful language to the world and for creating a community of people who truly understand the value of being able to connect and communicate with every single person in life and in business.
Thank you, Stephanie. So I want you to listen to what she said earlier on. 30 days consecutively without a no. Improve her relationship with her husband and son. How many of you would want this kind of life? How many of you would want this kind of results in just a short period of time? It's all because she believed in this thing called Bankcode. So Bankcode actually helped business owners, entrepreneurs, and whoever who are in sales to increase the performance up to 300%. Now, I have a question for you. How many of you have been to sales training before, whereby the trainers promises you that after learning from me, your sales will be increased by up to maybe 77%, 85%, 254%. How many of you have this experience before? Comment on the chat box. Here's my suggestion to you. Ours is up to 300%. It's not a number that we make up. Later in this presentation, I'm going to prove to you that 300% is mathematically logical, scientifically proven, and is indisputable numbers. I'm going to do this later, and stay tuned. Please continue following me. I'll explain why 300%. Imagine you want to change the world. What if you just need one idea that allows you to change the world? How many of you believe that is possible? So my submission to all of you is that what if Bankcode is the solution? What if Bankcode is the game changer that allows us to change this world, to make this a better place, make it an effective place, make it a place that every single one of us speak the same language? And the reason why I truly believe Bank is the game changer is because Bank is personality-based. It is people-focused, and it is profit-driven. So allow me to explain part 2 of the story of Sherry, and I'm going through the methodology. So remember, part 1 of the story of Sherry says that, well, she had studied Robert Kiyosaki's book, and she was able to clock $72,000 sales in 5 years' time. She asked herself this question: there must be something that can help her supercharge her sales performance because she wants more money, not because she's greedy. She wants more money because bear in mind that money is an important resource. The more money you can receive, the more people you can help. How many of you agree? If you want to help people, but you don't have any money in your pocket, how are you going to do that? So she said, let me find ways to be able to help me increase my sales performance. And that's how she reverse engineered the process of Bankcode. And in just a very short period of time, once she implemented Bankcode methodology, her sales reached $500,000 or 695% from $72,000. And in just 3 years after that, she has clocked her 7 figures, 1388% increase in sales. So you see, when you find the right tool, right methodology, the right person who trains you, and of course the right time, you will see this kind of result. Only if you implement. I have to stress this again. I can share with you a lot of these cool ideas. They are ideas, they are thoughts, but thoughts will not translate into action until you implement. And until you implement these things, take action, there won't be results. How many of you agree that you have thoughts, you have the feeling that you feel like doing this, however, you have to do something by taking action, and that's how you generate results. So sales, Bankcode is #1 personality-based sales training. The reason why we say it is personality-based sales training in the world is because we focus on one thing. We focus on human interaction. How many of you agree that when you're in a selling situation, you are not communicating with the robot, but human being? So the secret of being able to be successful in Bankcode training is that sales is no longer a numbers game. Sales is actually a people game. It's about you connect, communicate, and convey your message to enable the prospect to say, yes, I want to buy. The question is, many people don't know how to communicate and interact in such a way that the prospect will say yes to you, which is why deals fall apart. Brian Tracy actually said, all business is people business because you are interacting with human beings. Bank is scientifically validated. So now let's talk about why this is the case. There are 4 personalities. Imagine the world has 7 billion people, and all you need is just to understand these 4 personalities. BANK stands for blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge. And all you need to understand is that the foundation of what Sherry has done is based on the Greek physician called Hippocrates, the 4 temperaments based on his medical practice since 400 BC, a long time ago. So the BANK methodology is founded based on 4 personality types. And if we are able to speak to the one-to-one particular personality type with the right language, right tone, right value, how many of you agree that the chances of getting a yes will be high? Comment on chat box and put a yes there. The problem is this. How many of you comment on chat box that you have done certain form of personality assessment? Some of you might be a lifelong doer of personality assessment. And what is one common thing about these personality assessments? Good. Some of you actually get this. That is to help you discover yourself. That sounds cool. DISC, MBTI, color code, animal code, they all talk about helping you to discover yourself. Now, let me repeat. In the selling situation, who is more important? Is that you or the prospect? So if you say prospect, then there is a problem. Why? Because these two do not help me to understand the prospect. So why am I learning these tools to help me understand myself? But in a selling situation, the key thing is to understand the buying behavior, the motivation why the process buy, which is what Sherry has decided to reverse engineer the process and to come up with this methodology to enable us to understand why they buy. why the prospects buy. What's the motivation behind them saying yes to you? So the missing link, that's what we say in our agile training. We say that bank actually focus on something which is different from DISC. So our common questions that we ask is, what's the difference between DISC, D-I-S-C, and BANK, B-A.N.K? So if you're watching me right now, let me show you the explanation. DISC and BANK are the same, except they are completely different. Because the tools like DISC focus on something called psychology. It is helping us to understand our psychology so that we are able to be assigned to the proper job function and task. However, in the science situation, what we focus on is this thing called biology, spelled B-U-I. It's the buying behavior. It's what we call the prospect's reason to buy. That is more important. So imagine you're able to understand the buying behavior, the chances of closing sales will be very high. Unfortunately, in Charlie Group's research, only 18% of the buyer will buy from a salesperson who doesn't match the buyer's personality, which means 82% of these sales will fail. Is that scary? That if you are speaking the wrong lingo, you cannot connect, you cannot match with the prospect's personality type, you will lose the sales. And my question to you is, how many times can you afford losing a sale? Suppose you are able to have this opportunity to seal a $1 million deal. How many times in your life you have actually missed the boat and the prospect say no to you? Comment on chat box. So I see 1, 2, okay. In nutshell, you don't even have any chance of failure. You may only have one opportunity, you've got to kill it. So what we are saying is, why BANK is so powerful is because in 2016, BANK has published this thing called a white paper, and is actually endorsed by San Francisco State University, that confirms that BANK methodology is scientifically able to predict the buyer's behavior accurately. So if you want to have a 37-page white paper, feel free to email me at the end of this presentation. I'm happy to share with you this 37-page white paper, only if you want to read. Otherwise, you can ignore this, because there are people who do not want to read. But I can tell you one thing, in my years of training on Bankcode, there was one participant who actually asked for a 37-page white paper. And I said, well, we do not make things up. Let me send it out to you. So if you want it, email me at the end of the presentation. I'm happy to share with you this white paper. Albert Einstein says, oh, any fool can complicate things, and it takes genius to simplify them. So from my experience, I've been training DISC and MBTI for a long time too. My challenge is that whenever I train DISC and MBTI, it took a long while for participants to understand. And even more, after the training, some of them still did not understand. That's the problem. Whereas for BANK, my experience after training for a few years, I knew that after one day training, even just one day, they start speaking the BANK languaging. Because the system is so easy to absorb, so easy to understand. How many of you agree that if the thing is easy to use and absorb, chances of you using it will be high? Comment on the chat box. So let's talk about cracking the personality code. And by cracking the personality code, we really mean cracking the prospect's personality code. How many of you have watched the movie called Da Vinci Code? When Tom Hanks in the movie has to crack this codex, we call to unveil this thing called the Holy Grail. Here's the thing. In this CRYPTEX, if something happens, if Tom Hanks didn't figure out the code properly, there'll be a vial of vinegar that will come out and you will melt the Holy Grail and you will disappear. So in sales, as a metaphor, how many times have you met some prospects and you screw up because you did not crack the code of the prospect properly. And how does it mean in the selling situation when you are not able to crack the personality code of the prospect properly? That's right, you will lose the sales. In fact, what if you are able to crack the code of the prospect so that you know if the person is a blueprint, you are communicating and connect with the person's personality as a blueprint. How many of you agree that the chances of closing the sales will be high? Tony Robbins says, let your prospect determine your presentation. Many salespeople choose to present their way without figuring out that the key is actually to let the prospect tell you what presentation they would love to hear. This is an epiphany to me when I first heard from Sherry teaching Bankcode. And that makes sense after all, because if your prospect is a blueprint and you deliver a presentation as an action, how many of you notice immediately that there's something wrong with the presentation? So you have 4 presentations: B, blueprint; A, action; N, nurturing; and K, knowledge. How many agree that you have 1 presentation with your product and service? Comment on the chat box. 1 presentation. So the chances is this. The chances are if you deliver the right script, because there are 4 personality types, you have a 25% probability of success, which means that 75% of the time you will deliver the wrong script. If it's not painful enough, let me suggest some more pain for you. What if the 75% of the customers who chose not to buy from you went to your competitors just because you make a wrong presentation? How painful would it be if you see your customers going to competitors and buy from them? If this is not scary enough, I'll just let you know later, these numbers can be more scary. And now let me get back to why we say that if you implement what I'm going to teach you today in this webinar, you'll be able to increase your sales up to 300%. So let's pretend you are a blueprint. And early on, I said that if you are blueprint and your prospect happens to be blueprint, chances of you closing a sales will be high, not a problem. But let's say you are able to pick up the languaging of action, and your prospect happens to be action. You are able to close the sale and increase your sales up to 100%. And imagine now that you pick up nurturing and you are closing prospects that are nurturing. How many of you agree that your sales is now can increase up to 200%? Correct? Good. What if you are able to pick up the languaging of knowledge, speak the lingo, and close knowledge prospects? Is that true that your sales is now being able to increase up to 300%? It's mathematically proven. I'm not lying to you. It makes sense. How many of you regard that it makes sense to you? Comment on the chat box. So it's not like 85%, 254%. It's really 300% because not only you are able to deliver the presentation based on your own personality. After the band training, you should be able to deliver your presentation in the other 3 languages. That's the power of Bankcode.
Hi there, I'm Brenda Cross, and I'm from the Bay Area, California. I split my time between here and the Big Apple of New York City. I'm a corporate trainer specializing in communications, and I started up with Bankcode over 7 months ago because I wanted to expand my business and my revenues and also bring this system into my training. And it's been a game changer. In my first 40 days and my first training using the bank materials, I cracked everyone's code, and as a result was able to change my approach and my delivery based on who each person was. And it resulted in me getting 4 out of 4 stars from 100% of the participants, and that wouldn't have been possible without Bank. And even better, it resulted in me turning a 1-day training into an open-ended ongoing contract. So I took it from $3,500 up to $24,000. That's a 685% increase, almost a 7x return. pretty incredible. And bank has been giving me incredible results in my personal life as well. In particular with my niece, she is a high knowledge, and I struggled to connect with her. And using Bank, I'm able to incorporate some science into my humor, which gives us a place to connect, and it makes my day to see her smile and laugh. And we're building a better bond and relationship. I am so grateful to Brett Yeager for introducing me to Bankcode, and to Sherry Tree and the entire team with Bankcode. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
So Brenda's story is pretty amazing. A corporate trainer not only securing one time contract, it turns into an ongoing contract. And the part that I love about her story is that her connection with her daughter. If you remember what she said, she talked about a knowledge daughter, and she was able to crack the science joke. A lot of people actually ask Jack, what is a science joke? Well, I can tell you in Bankcode, there's a particular personality loves science. And if you are not able to deliver your jokes in scientific way, you will turn off this group of people. And how do I know? You guess. I'm not going to explain to you further. So let's talk about BANK system. B.A.N.K. Blueprint, Action, Nurturing, and Knowledge. Blueprint, in short, talks about, let me just use a box to explain this 4 personality. Blueprints talks about a person living within the box or inside the box. Okay, so they love structure. They love this thing called the rules. They just love this as the boss, as the comfort zone. The other personality is action. As you can see the color, which is so bright, it means that these people would love to live outside the box. Okay, they love to create their own box. They love to create their freedom. So this is the action. Talking about action, then let's move on to nurturing. For nurturing, you see the color is so warm. So we are talking about nurturing because they are nurturing by recycling the box. And by the way, there's knowledge. You can see the green color. Knowledge, personality, talks about re-engineering the box. In our Bankcode training, we actually explain exactly the system. We actually explain the details of these 4 personality. Okay? So what's your Bankcode? That's the question. Whenever we are dealing with prospects, this is the first question you ask. What's his Bankcode? What's her Bankcode? Because if I do not know her Bankcode, I wouldn't want to start my conversation. How many of you agree that, remember I shared with you, you've got to crack the personality code of your prospect so that you are able to deliver the right script, increasing your chance of closing the sales. So is it true that knowing the Bankcode of a prospect should be your very first question? There are actually 24 permutations. So for those who are good at maths, you can figure out that these 4 personalities have 24 permutations. So now the scary numbers pop up. Because you have 24 permutations, what if I suggest to you that if you can correctly, and I'll use the word correctly, crack the code in the orders of primary, secondary, tertiary, and inferior. So let's suppose the prospect is, the Bankcode is just BANK, B-A-N-K. And there's only 1 out of 24 chance that you get these 4 code correct. Which means it's not 25%. It's actually 4% chance of success. Which means now you are sending 96% of your customers to your competitors. Everybody say ouch on the comment. It sucks, not good. So I highly recommend that the biggest takeaway for you is to ask this question. What's the Bankcode of the prospect? And your job is to crack the personality codes of your prospect. And how do we do this? The interesting thing is that we are not going to spend 2 hours, 4 hours. We only need 90 seconds to be able to crack the code. And when I first heard 90 seconds, my mind is, are you kidding me? Is that true? How can that be? The reason why we're able to do that is because we have a system behind us. We have the tools that allow us to be able to do that. And this is one of the tools. We call it the value cards. In our training, we actually teach the participants to use a script that we provide to enable the participants to be able to request the prospect to sort the cards and come up with the bank code. And this script is so easy to use. And in the live training, we actually teach the participants how to say what they have to say. And have never any single failure, because if you follow my script, they will crack the code. It's so easy. How about doing this? How about doing this online? We are going to talk about the online training later on. But the key thing that before we even touch the online system of Bankcode, is it true that what separates the entrepreneur's successes from the failures? Maybe it's about training. Because learning the methodology in concept is not good enough. Learning what is it about, what is Bankcode about, is not good enough. Because you have to learn by doing it. How many of you agree that in order to acquire the skill, you need to learn how to do it? And you have to do it. And that's the reason why in our training, we are not only giving you the information, we actually make you do it in the actual training. And in the virtual training environment, we are doing the same thing. You've got to do the work before you are able to move on to the next module. So we emphasize a lot about doing, and doing. That's right. So B.A.N.K is actually perfect for many groups of people. So let me ask you a question. If you are in sales, if you are in financial services, if you are in real estate professionals, online marketing, and what if you are a relationship coach? What if you are a speaker and a life coach? What if you are an education consultant, a leaders, or you're just working in companies, corporate environment? Here's the good news. B.A.N.K is perfect for all of you. Why? You may ask. Because B.A.N.K drills down to one thing, and this thing will change the world. Better communication. And that's it. Better communication. That's why Les Brown says, when he stumbled upon Bankcode from Sherry, he said, oh my God, B.A.N.K is the game changer for every entrepreneur and sales professional. The Bankcode will strengthen the confidence, dramatically expand the selling skill, and increase income. That's why, because Les believes in B.A.N.K, he gave Sherry this endorsement about Bankcode.
Aloha, my name is Mamie Lamley, and I am from Hawaii, and I live in Colorado Springs, Colorado. When I was introduced to Bankcode, I was a burnt-out lead trainer with a global software company. I was working 18-hour days, making only $45,000 a year. It was a stressful time in my life because I was about to lay off over 39 people in my organization. After learning and implementing the B.A.N.K system, I was able to save all 39 jobs. I did this by optimizing skill sets and expertise and placing these employees into the positions they excelled in, all because of B.A.N.K. As a team, we landed a multi-million-dollar contract, and as a result, within 6 months, I received a $50K bonus, a promotion to Global Implementation Manager, taking my salary from $45K to $120K a year. That's over a 278% increase. And I reduced my day by 8 hours, giving me the time freedom to choose to care for my mother, who is now thriving from lung cancer. I got to paddleboard and enjoy my spouse and children even more. Thank you, Dwayne Richards, for introducing me to B.A.N.K, and to the genius, Sherry Tree. B.A.N.K has absolutely been a game changer for me.
Okay, thanks, Mamie. She is one of our certified licensed trainer based in Colorado, originally from Hawaii. That's why you heard aloha, is the greeting of the Hawaiians. So you have heard the testimonials, you have heard the results. 39 jobs are saved. She built a team helping her not to receive only $50,000 bonus, but raise her pay from $45,000 to $120,000. Not only that, she reduced her working hours. How many of you want this kind of lifestyle where you can help people save the jobs, you have increased your pay and reduce your working hours? It's all because she believes in Bankcode. She was introduced by one of our bank trainers, believe in it, and then learn how to do it. And she's now teaching other prospects, customers, what Bankcode is about, just like what I'm doing with you guys.
Hi, my name is Dawn Schuler, and I'm in Maryland, right outside Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Since 2005, I've been a business coach and consultant, and while I had great success with my clients, I certainly didn't have all the sales and conversions I wanted. Since becoming a bank trainer almost 2 years ago, I've increased my closing rate up to 75%, added tens of thousands of dollars of additional revenue, and even generated $50,000 of sales in just under a few hours. And it gets better than that. Because of B.A.N.K, I'm able to connect more powerfully with others in my business and my life, especially my husband Mark and my 2 daughters. I'm excited because we keep getting more opportunities and more contracts, and I can't wait to see the lifestyle that we can create. I'd like to thank Stephanie Bonti-Lebert for introducing me to B.A.N.K and showing me the magic that's possible. And I'd like to thank Sherry Tree for bringing this system to the world and truly creating one world, one language. Thank you.
So thank you, Dawn. You hear this testimonial again and again and again. It's always based on our existing trainers' referral. They come to our community, believe and get training properly by our trainers, and now they're impacting and changing the world. How many of you would love this kind of lifestyle where you truly want to change the world, you truly want to help people that you want to help, and now you have the resources called the money to be able to do it? Comment on chat box. The quality of your life, as Tony Robbins says, is direct proportion to the quality of your relationships. Do you agree that your life will never be the same if you are able to improve the quality of your relationship? That's the reason why we believe our mission in Bankcode is we live in the world of 7 billion people with 6,500 languages. But the only one language that has the power to connect the entire human race is B.A.N.K. One world, one language. That's our global mission that inspired me to be part of this global move. Sherry has actually traveled to many places, inspired people. So question for you, would you like to travel around the world? It may not be you. Like for me, I don't have this aspiration of travel around the world. But in case you have, why not? Why not go and explore different parts of the world while time is always a concern in the past? What if you are able to live the dream, enjoy what you want to do in the past when you are on the job, or you have some contract or project? You are actually controlled by people. Now you can live your dream. You can decide what you want to do, when you do it, and how you do it. And remember earlier on I said, what if you are living an iconic life where money and time is no longer a concern, where you can truly enjoy a lifestyle and at the same time continue impact, inspire, and influence people around the world? That's what I stressed. Living an iconic life is a great rate to live. How many of you agree that time is always working against you? Because you can't buy back the time. You can buy back what you lose. You can gain back the money that is gone. But time is always an irreplaceable resource. So while you are still in this world, enjoy your life. So what if you are now ready to crack the personality code and take it to the bank? That's always our tagline. Are you ready? Comment on chat box. Because I'm going to give you the solution. So let me share with you the solution. First of all, the solutions will include a couple of things. Number one, we have got tools, training, and this innovative, industry disruptive technology is very sickening. Why? Because it is a disruptor of the existing world. And let me explain. Number one, if you want to just read Sherry's book, Why They Buy, it's available on Amazon. Okay? You can also get trainings to learn how to use the tools called the value cards. And by the way, not only we have the value cards for the adults, We have also got the kids version, because from 2015 onwards, Bankcode is not only a sales personality tool, it actually is a tool to improve relationship. And the funny thing about Bankcode is it can save marriages. It can save marriages and relationship. That's how powerful this tool is. We have got training courses, whether it's a live course or virtual training. In the live course, in the virtual training, we have got 4 levels. We have got level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. You can always attend our signature series. I don't know where you're watching this webinar right now. Remember I said we have got more than 150 bank trainers around the world. So even though you are not in Singapore, you can always attend one of our bank trainers training. Let's say if you are in the United States, we have got bank trainers from the East Coast to the West Coast, from Midwest to Southwest. If you are in Asia, I'm based in Singapore, so you can always come to Singapore to attend one of my bank trainings. Let me explain how it works. These bank trainings are not hosted by anybody other than us, the certified and licensed trainer. And sometimes the bank corporate, our HQ, might also be hosting their own trainings, where Sherry Tree and her director, Esther Wildenberg, will be personally training you guys. So bank level 1 is about fundamentals. And what it covers is to help you master the fundamentals, the basic, understanding the 24 bank codes, learn how to communicate and sell to each code. In level 2, we move on to speed coding. And in speed coding, we master the art of speed coding. That is, we are going to learn how to crack the code instantly, in person, on the phone, visiting the social media or the website file. We will learn how to crack the personality code with a strategized conversation. In 3 minutes. We'll be able to crack the personality code without any fail. It's how cool it is. Power scripting is one of my favorite classes, because in level 3 power scripting, you are going to master the power of influence. You will learn how to speak, learn how to write your Bankified power scripts. When you talk about Bankify, oh my God, the word Bankify is actually a word that we use in our Bankcode community. That is, you are presenting a script that incorporates all 4 personality types. How many of you would love to have one script that speaks 4 languages? Comment on chat box. And level 4 is communication mastery. And level 4 deals with communication in personal life, dating, like I said earlier, marriages, parenting, and professional life. So that's our 4 signature courses, our signature series. How about the virtual training, the VOT, which you have access of over 40 hours of content? This is our Bankcode virtual training platform. It is interactive because Sherry is going to teach you online 24/7, 365, and you will share with you how to interpret certain rules, certain values under the Bankcode. And most importantly, this is the cool thing. There are different levels of the virtual training, and altogether it consists of 40 hours of virtual training. And the cool thing is this: each course is broken down into small bite sizes. And if you are completing one segment, you have to pass the assessment before you are allowed to move on to the next segment. In other words, you can't jump from one place to the other without passing this assessment, which means that there's a certain kind of accountability tracking. Whoever is giving you this platform is able to track your performance and ask you whether you have done your work and whether you understand the materials properly. That's why this is a very cool platform. This is a pip of the platform. When you log in using your given password, this is what you see. And you can always access this platform online 24/7, 365. And you have unlimited access. Say, for example, you are talking about 1 a.m. your time, and you want to review or revise a particular segment of the speed coding. You just go to the virtual platform, log on with your password, and you can review that segment on the spot. How cool is that? Comment on chat box. Training isn't something you did, it's something you do. which is the reason why some of you may be thinking that I just need to attend a live training once, or I just need to subscribe to the virtual training and watch it one time. It's not good enough, because what if you are able to watch and attend the training again and again, and every time when you do something the same, you get different outcome, because maybe the first time you didn't really get what you are getting right now, because you are coming back to learn and relearn and relearn. So how many of you agree that if you keep on learning something again and again, you may get different epiphanies, aha, or takeaways? Our referentiary technology is called B.A.N.K. So let me introduce what B.A.N.K is. B.A.N.K is actually to help you, first of all, crack your code online. Just now I talked about bank value cards, where you have a set of cards, you are able to sort, to make a request to your prospect to sort the cards and crack the code. You can actually ask a prospect to invite them online to crack the code. All it does is that you are given a link, mybankcode.com, and you'll be given an access code if you are a subscriber of B.A.N.K. Like mine is mybankcode.com/Jack Wong. This is probably the reason why you are accessing to this webinar. And in this platform, when you access to my code or your code, if you are a B.A.N.K subscriber, you invite the prospect to sort the card online. And once this is done, the prospect will need to key in the contact information. Most importantly is the email address. And then a sales report will be generated, and you'll be sent directly to the prospect. That is to help the prospect understand the sales tips and what they should do when they are in a selling situation. This is actually valued $97. And the cool thing is that there are altogether 24 types of reports, because there are 24 permutations. So the particular one of the 24 will be sent directly to the prospect based on the way they crack the code. And for you, other than cracking someone's code, when you receive the email address, you'll then be able to put it online automatically. And this is our Bankcode customer relationship system or management system called BCRM. And what you do is, how many of you would love to have a system, a dashboard that will collect a list of emails? And at the same time, the system allows you to send emails automatically through our autoresponder system that is carefully designed, and emails will be sent out automatically by the system. So you do not need to create your own autoresponders. You do not need to craft your own emails to send to your prospect. It's done automatically by the system. And if you decide to adopt the system, the sales funnel is actually given to you, and you don't need to do anything. And of course, for those who love to create their own messages, send their own emails, the system also allows you to do that. So it's entirely up to you. So what we need in order for this to happen is to have a B.A.N.K subscription. And once you have a B.A.N.K subscription, you'll be allowed to send out the email link request unlimited times to ask your prospects to crack the code. Now, here's a question for you. If you happen to experience other personality tools, I'm just talking about this for example. Each assessment on disk can easily be $29 to $60. So let's suppose you are sending 100 assessments in this month. How much would it cost you? 100. Correct. $6,000. Okay? But for B.A.N.K, it's not charged based on assessment. For B.A.N.K, it's just $99 a month, and you can send out unlimited assessments. And not only that, remember the B.A.N.K, other than the CRM, other than sending the link to ask your prospects to crack the code, it actually comes with the access to the vault, which is the VT, the virtual training, that has 40 hours of courses available. You have just one subscription, you have got a lead generation system, autoresponder, and 40 hours of trainings virtually. That's why B.A.N.K is very powerful, because not only you use it to generate your email list, you can actually use that to access the materials to learn and relearn and relearn. So are you ready to increase your sales and take it to the bank? And live the iconic life, as I've said before, and access to this winning edge and achieve your highest potential now. Now, I would like to invite you to think about another possible or common question. Many times, again, we talk about the DISC and the BANK. A DISC training is actually what we call a personality profiling training. So when you finish your training, you are done. There's nothing you can do. There's no really follow-up. But for BANK, not only is a personality system, it can be a personality training. At the same time, he has a system. He has a lead generation system. Virtual training online is a lot more than just a DISC personality profiling tool. Understand that BA.N.K is the whole entire architecture system that helps you to collect email address, to provide you with the lead generation, help you generate autoresponders. As long as you are keeping your BA.N.K Pass subscription on a good standing, you can have that. This is a very powerful tool, and Sherry spent lots of money and engaged the experts to come up with this system. Now, many times people ask, when I make a decision to invest in something, of course, there's always a cost. Nothing is free, because free is something that most people would not feel appreciated. Correct? Good. So in order to decide whether the cost of training makes sense, I would like to invite you to assess the possibility of the return of investment. And only if your return of investment is more than your cost of training, that you make sense for you to invest in the training. Okay, does it make sense to you? Comment on chat box and say yes. Now, I would like to offer 2 more questions for you to decide whether something is worth investing. The first question is that, do you foresee and believe in yourself that you are able to recoup the cost of the investment in this training? If you do, good. The second question is, how fast can you generate the result to recover the cost of your investment and then some, which means profits? Because if you can have clarity with these 2 questions, what happens is that you can have speedy result pretty quickly. And I say speedy result pretty quickly because now you have a goal, you have a desire to make it happen, isn't it? What if all you have learned was how to get 1 more sale per month, 1 more sale per week, or just 1 more sale per day? What if you are able to achieve this? And what if you are able to have the B.A.N.K Pass system, and that's only $99 a month, that has unlimited access? Is this training worth? Does it make sense to you? All you need is just 1 sale, and then you can potentially recover the investment cost of this B.A.N.K Pass subscription, the CRM lead gen system plus the B.A.N.K virtual training. Sherry Pereira, one of our B.A.N.K trainers, says, in just 30 days, 2 training contracts, 25 grand income. Stephanie Bontin-Labert, you have heard her testimony, you have watched her testimony before. In 30 days, 100% closing ratio, that translated into $50,000 income. Robin Egger, one of our B.A.N.K trainers, 30 days, best month in her 20 years, $70,000 income. And Brad Eager, one of our B.A.N.K trainers, these are male trainers that you have seen for the very first time in our community, 90 days closing a deal that has been lost, and that gave him $56,000 bonus. Does that sound good? How many of you would love to have this kind of results? Or maybe just a fraction of this. Imagine not $56,000, but just $50,000 or $5,000. Would it be better? Would it help you a little bit more? And what if you are able to do this 5,000 regularly, consistently? How would it change your life? Let's think about it. If you think the cost of education is expensive, which is a lot of people who didn't want to embrace this opportunity, they say, okay, good, go ahead and try the cost of ignorance. How much more time can you spend to figuring out things by yourself? time, remember, is not replaceable. Yes, you can spend time to figure out things by yourself, but how much more time can you do that? What if you have someone who knows the process, we have the right system, right tool, right methodology that allows you to shorten your learning curve, potentially by 5 years to 15 years, potentially generated results instantly if you are able to implement what you have learned. And how fast are you able to recover the investment cost of your education? You just need one opportunity, one decision, and one move. Done. The opportunity cost of not learning bank can be up to 300% or more of your current income. And by this, let me share with you one example happening in my case. I have a prospect who arranged a call with me, and we fixed the timing at 10 o'clock Monday, and the prospect didn't show up. And I said to her, "Why did you not show up?" She said, "Oh, because this was a holiday. I have to spend time with my family. I have to put off my phone. Nobody can disturb me." And I said, "Do you know that one of the personalities didn't really want to have no show? Because to them, time is in essence very important." So I show her that if you do not understand this particular personality, you will lose the sales generated from the prospect that has this personality. And if you know how to handle that, then perhaps you are able to increase the sales by 100%. Because obviously, this person, this prospect, does not respect time. It's nothing wrong for saying not respect time, because it would just piss off another personality who respects time a lot. How many of you can relate to this? So by understanding just one little thing, you can potentially increase the sales by 100%. It's that simple. You just need one understanding. Done. So you may want to attend also one of our signature series courses. Whether you are in Singapore or different parts of the world, we have bank trainers all around the world who can help you. We have level 1 and level 2 in case you're talking about Singapore or Malaysia. We call it the Code Breaker Summit. That consists of level 1 and level 2, the bank fundamentals and speed coding. So let's break it down to the Code Breaker Summits. We have got level 1 bank fundamental course, and the value is $2,000. We have got the level 2 speed coding course that has $2,000 in value. And how about some added bonuses? First of all, you've got the hands-on experience with the experts. The trainer is actually certified licensed trainer, so we do not send anyone to train you because we have to go through a vigorous practice and certification program in order for us to be able to teach you. And I always teach based on my experience. There's no theory behind. Like I said, the earlier example I show you is a classic example. In my life, somebody didn't respect time. And how do I explain Bankcode with this prospect? To help her understand time, punctuality can be important. What if you are able to have direct access to the trainer? For example, if I were your trainer, you have access to me and my past graduates who will be coming back to serve you, to help you to answer a question in 2 days. What if you'll be gifted the course materials, the tools and resources during the training? The total value, just ignore all the added values, is already $4,000.
Okay, so this is Sunday. If you are here in Singapore, you might be elsewhere, eating, having fun with family. I'm here in Bugis. Guess what happened? There's a group of participants who are learning this thing called bank methodology. And most importantly, they are undergoing an activity which is a highlight of this whole Breaker Summit achieving events that I'm doing in Singapore. And you can just take a look at what they are doing right now. The participants basically are going through this exercise, and the objective of that is to learn what they have learned in the morning, ask strategic questions with a view to getting the bank code. So how many times in your life have you had a conversation with someone where it's so casual, it's not connected with each other, and you find that it's a superficial conversation? And how many times would you want to have a deeper, more analytic conversation? So this is why they're spending this afternoon learning in a very intense manner, a deep connection for only 3 minutes to be able to grab the personality of their partner. And this is what I teach in Singapore. This is speed coding level 2, which is part of our curriculum in Bank. If you want to find out more about this, I don't know where you're watching this from, just go click somewhere and you'll be able to find more detailed information.
So you see that this is just a snapshot of Code Breaker Summits in Singapore Day 2, where I was facilitating this activity so that, like I said, you are not just learning the Bankcode system. You have to do it on the spot and crack the code, learn how to crack the code. And our participants are very happy, very satisfied when they have gone through these particular activities. So you can attend one of our Code Breaker Summits if you decide to come to Singapore to do it. That's me. This is one of my group of students. And most importantly, think about this. You see the face, they all enjoy it. You will learn how to close more sales in less time using our proven step-by-step system. You will learn skyrocket your income and crush your competition. You will also learn to impact your relationships and change the world. And finally, what if you become the expert in biology, spelled BUY, which is the science of buying behavior? That's what we teach in the Code Breaker Summit. Okay, here's the deal. As you're watching this webinar, it might be because you have cracked your code. I've cracked your code basically using the link, or someone has sent you to watch this webinar. I've decided to make something very special. That is, the investment of the Code Breaker Summit is not $4,000. It's only $12.99. Okay? You can register before it's sold out because I've got Code Breaker Summit in November 2018, December 2018, Jan 2019, and February 2019. They're all sold out. Hi, Jack Wong here from Singapore, certified and licensed trainer with Bankcode. We have just completed another round of Code Breaker Summit, and we have participants coming all the way from Malaysia and Singapore. Good job! All they have learned in these 2 days, the secret, the science, and the system that allows them to crack the personality code and take it to the bank. Thank you. So let's talk about. Hi, Jack Wong, certified licensed trainer with Bankcode. I'm so proud that we have just completed another 2 days of Code Breaker Summit in Singapore. And this time, for the very first time in the history of Singapore, we have participants from Brunei, from Australia, from Thailand, and of course from Singapore! Congratulations! So in these 2 days, they've learned the secret, the science, and the system that allows them to supercharge themselves and take it to the bank! Congratulations, everyone! Bye! So mind me, because I didn't mention that you should turn down the volume because the excitement actually hit the roof. The volume is loud, so please bear with me. But you can see that this is why participants are so excited. We have participants from Malaysia, Brunei, Australia, and Thailand. So what's your excuse? If you are from Asia, we have people flying from different parts of Asia to Singapore. So what is your excuse? There's an ironclad money back guarantee if you decide to invest based on this webinar, because your credit card will not be charged until 3 days later. Because we are here to this fact that we have 3 days of cooling off period. That means that if you say yes, your card will not be charged within 3 days. Your card will only be charged, in other words, after 3 days or 72 hours. Now, Robert Kiyosaki once again said that most people will get 1 or 2 opportunities in lifetime. Do you consider that Bankcode might be a lifetime opportunity because it doesn't come often? Now, I'm doing this Bankcode training because I see that the market really needs Bankcode, which is my motivation of doing this Bankcode training in Asia, helping many people who want to crack the code, want to know how to supercharge the sales up to 300% by introducing and teaching this methodology. So if you foresee yourself, well, this is a potential lifetime opportunity, you want to experience something great, we need you because this is a global opportunities out there. We are already teaching this methodology over 100 countries. And you can always start your own bank business. And what do I mean by that? You can actually become one of our affiliates. In other words, if you believe in the bank products, you can make an offer and close your prospects and get an affiliate commission. So that is what we call residual income. How cool is that? And the affiliate investment is only $199 a month. Talking about, sorry, let me repeat, $199 a year. My bad. It's the annual fee, $199. So talking about BANK Pass, remember I said that it's $99 a month with the setup fee one time of $199. So what you do is that the cost of subscription is pretty low, in my opinion. Remember I said you just need one sale per day, per month, per week, per day, per week, and per month. You'll be able to recoup your investment. What if you decide to become a BANK Pass subscriber and at the same time an affiliate? So the investment would be $299 plus a $99 BANK Pass monthly subscription. So the investment by bundling the affiliate and the BANK Pass will be $299 plus $99 a month of the BANK Pass monthly subscription fee. And you can earn potentially 20 to 40% commission, depends on the level of your affiliate marketing. You can always get started and take it to the bank by being a BANK Pass subscriber. You can be an affiliate and subscribe to BANK Pass. Or you attend our Code Breaker Summit. But what if I decide to make a second decision tonight, today, this afternoon, depends on the time you watch this. And I'm going to do something crazy. And it's the moment of decision that shape your destiny, as Tony Robbins says. What if I'm going to give you level 1 bank fundamental course, $2,000 value, a speed coding, $2,000 value, and a BANK Pass subscription for the very first month, which is $300 in value. Let's round it up. Affiliate subscription, which is $200 in value. 1 year, let me round it up to $200. And then I'll give you a WhatsApp and Telegram support group. Now, question, how long would the support be given? For as long as I'm still doing bank, you'll be given the support. I called it a lifetime. So what is the value that you can place? Let's just put a number there, 2,000. And plus all this added value, which I explained earlier. Total value as a result, $6,500. And for that, what if I decide to give you something very special? With this, it's only $12.99. So $12.99, 2 days live training, BANK Pass subscription for the very first month, and affiliate for the first year. All bundle, $12.99. Hang on for a minute. If you think there's a payment link that I'm going to give you, I'm going to surprise you. The reason why I do not give you a payment link right now is because I am very picky or selective, if you would like, to who I want to train. Because I don't want any people who are just interested and not committed to coming to my training, and after the 2 days, they do nothing. Because I need results very badly. It's not because I need the results for myself. I need the results for you guys. Because if you don't generate results, then what's the point of investing $12.99 on this course? Make sense? So what I'm saying is that with $12.99, Code Breaker Summit 2 days, first month BANK Pass subscription, and affiliate subscription for the first year, I've decided this is the way to do it. You have to apply. It's just like university education. You have to apply, and this is the link, bit.ly.com, bit.ly/Bank with Jack. If you apply and you fill up the questionnaire, which is not easy to fill, by the way, that shows the signs of your commitment. You fill up the form, system will notify me, and I will review the form. If I feel that we are good fit, we believe that by what you share with me, you'll be able to generate result, I will accept you, and I will arrange with you how to make the payment. So it is a no payment application, because even though you have money to throw at me, I'm not going to take it right now, because I truly want to work with those who are serious. So you can go and click this link, bit.ly/Bank with Jack. And I'll put this link somewhere below, somewhere about, so that you'll be able to click it easily. Okay? So once again, for 2 days Code Breaker Summit, which is 2 days, Band Pass subscription for the first month, affiliate subscription for the first year, $12.99, you have to apply using this link. Okay? So thank you for watching this webinar and learn something about Bankcode. I hope that this webinar helps you understand this scientifically validated tool that allows you to supercharge yourself up to 300%, learning how to crack the personality code in 90 seconds or less, and take it to the bank. My name is Jack Wong, certified and licensed bank trainer in Singapore. Good wishes. I look forward to training you with Bankcode one day.